He keeps doing this. How did they get that wrong? Huh? Generic Control the Duck Goesmoo. We're back with some more TF2 versus TFC. Today we have the evolution of the sniper. You want to check my reaction to the last one, which was the evolution of the pyro. I'll leave it right up there, also linked down below in the description. I'll also be a playlist on my channel with all the other TF2 videos, going to chronological order, going back all the several years. I've only been in this community for like almost 3 years now, and thank you so much for having me in it. It has been a great experience. I love the TF2 community so much. Don't actually know much about TFC, and I'm still learning stuff about TF2 almost every single time I watch one of these. Also, Overwatch vs TF2. I reacted to that video that came out last week. You can check that out by Doug. I think there's probably going to be another video I'll do by Doug. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm probably going to record it sometime after this video. But today we have the sniper, which I don't think TFC sniper was in. Oh wait, or was it in? I think it was in the comics, because I did the TF2 comics once upon a time. But just shout out to all the pages. They can do videos there early. Labaton, I have a paywall channel. Couldn't do this without them. I'm completely against paywalls. Also, I live stream TF2 on Fridays, and I play with viewers on community servers, on Uncletopia servers. So you're more than welcome to join me. Usually just find a server that has 0 people in it, and sure enough, it's full almost instantly. So shout out to all the people that do that, and all the people that watch these videos. Thank you so much. I'll read every single comment, leave some down below. But let's go ahead and jump into the evolution of the sniper. I hope you subscribed as well. This is a recent video, and I know he did the comparing the two fort maps. So I know people were wanting me to do that in the comments of last video. I just want to get this video out because this one was just done. So gotta be like, you know, current, you know. But let me know if you want the 2 fort video.
This next video, soldier versus soldier. That's what I had picked.
Oh.
But then I was just kind of thinking about the different character interactions between these 2 games, and sniper versus sniper really stuck out to me. I do still have a lot to learn about Team Fortress Classic, but I usually have some basic idea of how these might go down before I actually start making the video. But for sniper versus sniper, I really had no clue.
50 on a headshot?
Sniper versus sniper has to be by far the simplest versus video when it comes down to the 1v1, because this whole matchup entirely comes down to one thing. And we're talking about snipers here, so I'm sure you already know what that one thing is.
What?
But at the same time, that one thing is also what makes it so interesting. But of course, we will still go over everything else these characters have too. And hey, the TFC sniper rifle somehow made its way into TF2 with the classic. Maybe the TF2 sniper took it after it killed the TFC sniper in the comics? Except the rifle the TFC sniper is using in the comics is seemingly based more off of the third-person model from TFC, where the classic in TF2 is based off of the first-person model. But then, when the TF2 sniper picks up the TFC sniper's rifle when he's distracted, it instantly becomes the TF2 sniper rifle. What are we, to believe this is some kind of magic shape-shifting gun? Boy, I sure hope somebody got fired for that blunder. They probably did. That's why the last comic is taking so long. But at least we did actually get to see these 2 characters interact.
I reacted to those.
That was cool.
You can check those out.
Also, on the brief topic of comics, I based the drawing of the TFC sniper in this video much more with how he appears in the catch-up comic, because his original in-game model is just pretty ugly.
What is that abomination? That looks like a cockroach.
That's my only reason. And speaking of, as usual, this doesn't have anything to do with the
no
comics.
unlocks random crits.
If you're new to the series, this is purely going to be based off the weapon and character stats, and those stats will not be adjusted in any way.
I mean, it has to be TF2 sniper, right?
Not that it really matters for the sniper rifle, and TF2 will not be allowed to use unlocks. I am thinking
also, I'll be reacting to these as they come out, so
but don't worry about that for now, because no TF2 sniper
week.
unlock really provides anything meaningful to this matchup, so it's kind of a non-factor here. Also, of course, this series is mainly about the comparison and evolution between the 2 games. It's fun to make it a fight, but don't take that part too seriously, okay? Alright,
don't take it too seriously. It's the internet. You gotta take everything seriously.
He's not a crazed gunman, he's an assassin. The TF2 sniper.
Yes.
In the blue corner, he's kind of a crazed gunman. The TFC sniper.
A little bit crazy.
We're going to start off the first round with health, like we always do. The TF2 sniper is tied for the lowest base health in the game, with Scout, Spy, and Engineer at 125.
Oh, really? I thought Scout had the least.
The sniper shares his base health with Delman, Medic, and Spy with 90 health.
What armor?
But unlike those classes, you'll
use
50 max armor points and use the light armor type, which only absorbs 30% of damage taken. This makes Sniper the second easiest class to kill in TFC, only behind Scout. And with that combination of health and light armor, that effectively means the TFC Sniper can take 128 damage before dying.
Wow.
That's probably the closest any 2 classes in these games come to having the same health. But hey, effectively having 3 more health is still having 3 more health. So round 1 just barely goes to TFC.
Barely. Almost a tie. Almost a tie.
Round
like, I don't even know if that could really like push the needle.
With
you know?
both versions of Sniper running at 100%.
And there we have another tie. It's basically come down to who has the better
And
gun.
round 3,
Because it's not like you
I'm
move
gonna
around
condense
either.
things a little bit.
Abilities and
Unlike
grenades.
Scout, Pyro,
Okay.
and Heavy, the snipers in either game don't really have any unique abilities inherent to their class. You know, things like knockback resistance for Heavy or afterburn immunity for Pyro, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just like everyone else in Team Fortress Classic,
They can
the
bunny
sniper
hop.
can bunny hop.
And it has
just
grenades.
like everyone else, the sniper also has grenades.
What kind of grenades?
Actually,
Regular
unlike
grenades?
the other classes, the TFC sniper only has one grenade type, which is the regular hand grenades. Though apparently in Quake Team Fortress, he had a flare as a secondary grenade type.
I've never
which wasn't
played
carried
Quake.
over into TFC. Anyway, both these things are important to note, and they are key aspects about the TFC sniper that the TF2 sniper doesn't have any equivalent to. And it is important to show them to give context to how the character changed between games. But at the same time, they're also really not that important when it comes to a 1v1 fight, so we'll just consider this one singular round. And of course, by default, this round does go to TFC.
Oh, because the TF2 sniper has
For our first actual weapon
nothing
round,
at all?
we have
Like
something that
nothing.
we've seen before, and we'll see again. A
TF2 is
fast-swinging
gonna win
18
melee.
damage crowbar versus a slower-swinging 65 damage TF2 melee weapon.
Yes.
There's gonna be a lot more of this in future videos, so get used
Just
to
go
it.
ahead and just
And
give
as
it to
usual,
TF2.
We'll be using a 100
crowbar's
health, no
so
armor
bad.
heavy in TFC, and a 100 health big earner spy in TF2 as our
Yeah,
test
the big
targets. We use these two classes so that we have 100 health as a consistent baseline between games that gives us a pretty clear idea of how fast any given weapon could kill something in each game. But, as no surprise, the TF2 sniper's kukri is able to kill much faster and with far fewer hits than the TFC sniper's
half as
crowbar.
fast.
And while these two characters
fast,
ideally aren't going to be getting within melee
okay.
range of each other, if they do, it's very strongly in TF2's favor.
Strongly.
Alright, we have one more
Nail
throwaway round to get through. Like
Throwaway
a lot of
round?
TFC, the sniper has more than 3 normal weapons. One of
Has
this
the
happens
nail
to be
gun.
the nail gun, and it functions exactly like it does for Scout, which is to say, it's not very good.
No.
It deals 9 damage per hit,
Slow
and fires
projectile.
pretty fast, but also fires a small and pretty slow projectile.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it's just a bad weapon on its own, but the TFC sniper also has another weapon that outclasses it in every possible way, and we'll get to that in a second. But
Which
yeah,
is what the
I
SMG?
guess having the nail gun as an absolute last resort is better than not having it at all.
So the nail
But
gun's
it doesn't see
around?
a lot of use normally, and would be entirely useless in a hypothetical 1v1.
I don't think this count as a round. Just
I
be
guess
like,
TFC kind of
maybe
has to
ability.
win this, but it's
to?
kind of a useless victory.
Just
Now,
kind of
this
like
is
the
what I was
health was,
talking
you
about.
know?
TFC's automatic rifle, which is just better than the nail gun, versus TF2's SMG. It's worth noting that despite looking basically identical to the TFC sniper rifle, the automatic rifle cannot scope. Also, both rifles share the same ammo count.
Is there no
It's
aiming
possible for
dot?
the automatic rifle to chew through your sniper ammo if you use it too carelessly, which is obviously a problem that is not present in TF2.
No, because they have
And
different
as
ammo.
for the damage,
pools.
both guns in both games have a base damage of 8 and have a near identical firing speed, both
But
firing
there's
about
fall
9
off
times a second.
and ramp up.
However, like everything in TFC, the automatic rifle has no damage ramp up or fall off, while the SMG in TF2 will deal up to 12 damage at close range and as little as 4 at long range. At the closest range, the SMG killed in 0.9 seconds, while the automatic rifle killed
But
in
at mid-range?
1.23. Also, for some reason, the automatic rifle can still act all twitchy sometimes when you stop firing it.
Oh, I thought he
don't
was just
think
firing
that's
for no
stat,
reason.
But it does happen pretty often. At the start of Two Forts Bridge, the SMG killed in 1 second exactly, while the automatic rifle killed in 1.23.
Okay, it's still mid-range.
And from the other end of the bridge, the SMG killed in 5.1 seconds, while, you
Had to
guessed
reload.
it, the automatic rifle killed in 1.23. If you were watching closely, you might have seen a pattern there. So
Had to reload.
basically you have a choice between a weapon that's better at closer distances versus one that deals consistent damage throughout. You could argue that the SMG
Close
is
and
better
rid
because it deals more damage at the range where snipers most
a
vulnerable,
higher
close
possible.
range, but the
But snipers
automatic
should be far
rifle is
away.
better for dealing more damage as the enemy approaches. So each one is a little bit better for different things. It's a little
Is
bit
it a
hard
tie?
to pick just based on that. But there are two things that give the automatic rifle an edge over the SMG.
What?
For one, it's basically perfectly accurate. The SMG
Oh, it
in
is?
TF2
Oh.
is a pretty accurate weapon, all things considered,
But
it
there
still
is
suffers from random bullet
scatter.
spread, and the further you are away from your target, the less bullets you're going to connect. But
Makes
the
sense.
automatic rifle was able to hit every single shot all the way from across the bridge.
But there's
To be
not
quite
even a
honest, I'm not
cursor,
sure if
dude.
it has any bullet spread at all. It's super accurate. And
Okay.
2, the SMG has to reload after every 25 shots. It takes 1.1 seconds to reload. It is a pretty fast reload, but you know what's a lot
But
better?
compared to no reload.
Never having to reload at all.
Yeah.
With the automatic rifle. You can fire all 75 shots without ever having to stop. So yeah, if an automatic rifle with
Okay,
these
yeah,
stats was
TFC
brought
wins
over
that
as a
one, no
secondary
doubt.
For sniper in TF2,
That's
I'd
not
have
even
to say
close.
that would be the better option over the SMG more often than not. So that's one more round of
Yeah.
TFC.
Yeah, but what's really coming to is the
Round
sniper
7
rifle.
is really the only
This
round
round.
that matters.
Yep, the
TFC
only
sniper
round
rifle
that
versus
matters.
The TF2 sniper rifle. The question is, which one will be able to secure a headshot first, and will it be enough damage to kill? Well, luckily for the TFC sniper,
so yes,
his rifle does not function like the TF2 weapon that's based off it does. If it did, this match would already be over.
Yes.
I mean, of all the TFC weapons to bring over to TF2, the Classic was a very odd choice. Charging with the primary fire instead of scoping, not being able to fire while airborne, and giving uncharged shots are really the only similarities, though. I mean, right off the bat, the actual TFC sniper rifle can headshot at any amount. The TFC sniper rifle is also capable of reducing the target's move speed by half with a leg shot.
What?
Leg shots themselves will only deal half damage, but that reduction in move
I wish
speed
they
will
did
last until they get healed by a
mechanic.
medic. And
but that'd be cool if
they
they had stuff like that.
I think we're all glad was not carried over to the TF2 version. Also, you know that
they kind of got rid of all that,
like
the whole
tracer round?
spikes.
That's not a thing in TFC, so I'm not sure why they added that specifically to the Classic. But yeah, it was changed a lot when it was brought over to TF2. Both versions of the sniper rifle fire at effectively the same speed,
but
though the TF2 one is very slightly faster. Both versions will also slow you down the same amount when you're charging. The sniper rifle in TFC carries 75 ammo compared to TF2 25, but like I said earlier, it does use the same ammo supply as the automatic rifle.
Yep,
so
which, kind of even though it looks the exact same.
But you see this?
You can't scope.
This shot right here, where he has the dot right on his face, that's not a headshot. Right directly on their face doesn't count. Headshots in TFC have to be aimed a little bit higher, like to the top of their head.
Huh?
The hitbox on the top of their head does seem to be moderately lenient, but you do have to aim higher than you think you should to get the headshot sometimes.
It's
a little
terrible.
bit clunky, but you get used to it. And speaking of clunky, the TFC
you have to
rifle
aim
not
to
only
miss?
can't be fired in the air, but you can't even fire non-charged shots while moving at all. Here's me just running around and tapping the fire button. Nothing's happening. In order to fire while moving, you have to at the very least briefly stand still, start charging, and then you can move around at the reduced speed and fire the shot whenever you want. It's very awkward. And you know what? Before we get to damage, I say we just cut this round here and move straight to the final round. Because this basically determines everything.
What?
Okay, the final round.
I like how we just
Which sniper is the better sniper? Well, before we get to that, a very quick rundown
for TF2, I always am.
Up to this point, the TFC sniper has effectively had the advantage in every category except for melee. However, all of these advantages are honestly very minor. With armor, you can take very slightly more damage.
You just get one shot
has more mobility with bunny hopping and grenade jumping, but like we mentioned earlier, you can't fire the classic rifle while in the air, so that doesn't particularly help. The nail gun is worthless.
It's a glass cannon,
the automatic rifle is genuinely pretty good, but if you're trying to use that against a sniper from across the map who's trying to snipe you, then that's probably not going to work out in your favor.
No.
So it's really just down to the rifles, and which one can deal more damage faster. I'm sure we all know how it works in TF2. A base damage of 50, it crits on headshot for 3 times the damage, for a quick scope headshot damage of 150. That would kill the TFC sniper. But unlike in Team Fortress Classic, you do need to be scoped in order to get that headshot. That's not the case in TFC, where you could headshot at any time. And if we're going to go off what the wiki says, the TFC sniper rifle has a base damage of 75, and headshots
Why does it
double,
say up to
meaning
375?
you can instantly get a headshot for 150 without the extra time needed to scope. So that's game, set, match. TFC wins. Is what I would say if that was true.
He keeps doing this!
The rifle in Team Fortress Classic is not 75. I don't know where that comes from. An uncharged body shot deals 48 damage, which is a pretty big step down.
How did they get that wrong?
Kind of.
Huh?
You had to deal 95, 94, and 96. There's some slight variance there, but it's close enough to double. But now this means that we have a real game
dude?
A headshot in TFC may start at a lower damage, but you can begin charging while a TF2 sniper is still in the process of scoping. Now we just need to figure out which one could headshot kill faster. Luckily, we could actually just use another sniper in each game as a stand-in for each other, because their effective healths are so similar. So that's nice.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that very often. In TFC, there's unfortunately no real indication of your own charge amount. You just kind of have to get a feel for it. We do know that an uncharged headshot doesn't kill, but you really don't need to charge very long before it does. I successfully tested it 10 times where I tried to get the headshot kill at the absolute minimum possible time. And these are the times here. Close to about half a second, but the lowest I got was 0.433, which is pretty fast. Now in TF2 it takes roughly 0.12 seconds to scope in, and there's also a 0.2 second delay when you start scoping before you can actually get the headshot. And for TF2 it's a lot easier to know when you could get the kill, so I only did this 5 times. Hypothetically, you could probably get the headshot in exactly 0.2 seconds, but my lowest humanly possible time was 0.2 seconds.
But it's also like already
aimed, means that the TF2 sniper is capable of killing about 0.15 seconds faster than the TFC sniper. And, I guess that means he wins?
Maybe?
By about 1/7 of a second? Of course, if both snipers are able to charge ahead of time, like around a corner or something, then this is a totally even game. Or even if they both take slightly longer than 0.43 seconds.
This is a close matchup.
But let's say there's a scenario where they miss the headshot. It only takes the TFC sniper rifle about 1.85 seconds for a charged body shot to kill another sniper, where a TF2 takes over a second longer at 2.95 seconds. So in that regard, the TFC sniper rifle is faster and more forgiving. And the TFC sniper rifle actually has a way higher max charge. A fully charged body shot left a full health, full armor heavy with 27 health and 12 armor, meaning it did about 361 damage. This is roughly
so
what
much
the Classic
damage
would look like in TF2 if its stats were actually how they are in Team Fortress Classic. This thing would be super weird in TF2, but it would also be like stupid powerful in some ways. You could fully charged body shot kill any class in the game. But the point still was, which would be better in a sniper versus sniper battle? And honestly, it's so close, and there's so many small factors in an actual fight that I think a tie would be my answer. But nobody's going to be satisfied with that. The match between a sniper and a sniper is always going to come down to who could get the headshot kill the fastest. And it may be only by a fraction of a second, but TF2 does have the advantage there, and that has to be the determining factor. So if it can't be a tie,
is this actually
then the
going to be
sniper wins.
Is it actually? No rug pulls? Are we content with that answer?
That was a super close one.
It was
if you want to call it a tie instead, I wouldn't really argue with you. But if it's mostly a tie that's kind of leaning towards TF2, you kind of have to go TF2. But hypothetically, the TFC sniper could pretty much instant kill the TF2 sniper with a well-timed grenade. But I think we kind of have to assume that they're not going to be in range for that. Besides, the TF2 SMG and melee weapons are stronger at close range, so it's probably not in TFC's best interest to get close.
Exactly.
But while the final round did come down to just a fraction of a second, I do want to point out that this doesn't necessarily mean that these two classes are equally powerful in their native games. In Team Fortress 2, you could quick-scope headshot kill 5 out of the 9 classes in just around 0.28 seconds. In the time it takes you to do that in Team Fortress Classic, you could have probably only killed just a scout. Maybe not even that. But I can guarantee it's going to take longer to headshot kill any of the other 8 classes. Not only that, but there's generally more mobility in TFC. It's going to be harder to headshot people who are moving around so fast.
Who are bunny hopping at the speed of sound.
Sniper rifle's awkward standstill to start charging mechanic. And there's also the fact that nothing having damage fall off in TFC means that long-range spam from any class is going to be more effective against you.
With a nail gun, even.
But it is true that in TFC, you can body shot kill 8 of the 9 classes if you charge for long enough. So that's something.
For long enough.
And look, I'm not even saying that the sniper is bad in TFC, but it really seems to me that in TF2, the sniper is just a more dominant character, based on just inherent changes made between the games. Not only do early headshots deal a lot more damage, but the classes in TF2, for the most part, aren't as bulky as they can be in TFC with armor. So he's just a more efficient character in TF2. Also more polite. And he has a plan to kill everyone he may not have the TFC sniper's fancy bunny hopping and grenades, but man, a 150 damage quickscope headshot, that'll do it.
If I forgot to mention it before now, you snipers are the worst people on the planet.
He wasn't a sniper. He was a sadist. There's a difference. Snipers don't muck around with gut shots and monologues. We just take the shot.
That's fair. Like, he was like a cadaver at that point,
that was another TF2 versus TFC video. I will actually
Here's
probably
his
do
patrons.
next.
Glad to see that that's growing.
And thanks for watching.
I thought it said consuming and had those people. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're consuming those people?
Copernicus, Kelso the Pirate.
Oh my lord, that would be hilarious. But I also have a Patreon. The 11th, and I have a paywall channel. Complete against paywalls and Squim Jim. Glad to see. I don't think he does paywalls or anything like that, which is always fantastic to see. And he also like says their names, which is completely awesome to do. But let me know if you want me to do the TF2 2 Fort versus TFC 2 Fort or whatever else. I know there's a new Mancox video out. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So I'll probably do that maybe next week or something. I have no idea, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're subscribed. I'll definitely react to the next TF2 versus TFC video that Squim Jim does. That will definitely be out probably in 3 months from now, so I'll see you in 3 months. But I hope you're subscribed. Maybe check out some of the other ones. Maybe come by a live stream on Fridays for some TF2 goodness. And check out my Overwatch versus TF2 but explained with food. As someone that started playing Overwatch and then transitioned into playing TF2, that was a great video to watch. I reacted to it like last week. It's on my channel, but I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it made your day better. I read every comment, leave them down below. But until the next video, take care and cue the music.
We were playing